Welcome back to Knead to Know, where every loaf tells a story and every baker finds their rhythm. In our last episode, we explored the world of artisan bread, a realm where tradition meets technique and simplicity meets soul. We ended that video with a promise to dive into the secret behind depth of flavor, texture, and life in every truly great bread. Pre-ferments and sourdough starters. Let's begin. The power of pre-ferments. Pre-ferments give fermentation a head start, awakening the dough long before the final mix. They enhance flavor, texture, and shelf life, all without the need for additives or dough conditioners. They also allow bakers to reduce or even eliminate commercial yeast, making the process more natural, more real. There are two basic types of pre-ferments: yeast pre-ferments, also called yeast starters, and sourdough pre-ferments, also known as natural starters, made with wild yeasts. Yeast pre-ferments. Yeast pre-ferments are quick, practical, and full of potential, but the terminology? A bit messy. Here's what you really need to know. Poolish. From Poland, this starter is made with equal parts water and flour, by weight a thin, batter-like mix. Add just a pinch of yeast and give it time, the flavor will be worth it. It rises, bubbles, and just when the top starts to wrinkle and fall, that's the sweet spot. Biga, Italy's answer to fermentation. A stiffer dough, slower to ferment, but deeper in flavor. More yeast is needed than in poolish, but it rewards you with rustic structure and subtle complexity. Levain-levure, France's term for a yeast starter. Usually stiff, sometimes loose, but always rising with purpose. Levure means yeast. Don't confuse it with levain, which brings us to sourdough. Scrap dough, or pâte fermentée, is simply dough saved from a previous batch. It already contains salt, so it ferments slower, but gives depth and convenience. Often, it's used alongside added yeast, a method called mixed fermentation. The magic of sourdough. Starters. Before yeast came in packets, bakers looked to nature, a mixture of flour and water left to ferment. That's all it takes. Over days, a living culture of wild yeast and beneficial bacteria emerges. That's your sourdough starter, also called a natural starter or natural sour. Wild yeasts aren't the same as commercial ones. They're unique to regions like the iconic strains behind San Francisco sourdough. They can survive where commercial yeast dies thriving in acidity and delivering unforgettable flavor. But sourdough isn't just yeast, it's bacteria too. Lactobacilli ferment sugars into two main acids: lactic acid, soft, mild, subtle; acetic acid, sharp, tangy, vinegary. A perfect sourdough? It balances both. That balance is in your hands: how you feed, how you ferment, how you bake. Why it matters. Using pre-ferments and natural starters isn't just tradition, it's transformation. You bring time, patience, and nature together. The result? A loaf with life, a crumb with soul, and a craft that connects you to centuries of bakers before you. And in our next video, we'll go one step further. How do you start and maintain your very own sourdough starter? What flour should you use? How often do you feed it? How do you know it's alive? All that and more, coming up soon on Need to Know. If this video stirred your passion for bread, like it, share it, subscribe. Let's build a community of bakers who learn, rise, and share together. Until next time, keep your dough alive and your spirit rising.